What is up guys, it's Gorge, and today I have you guys a brand new video, and on this one, as you guys can see from the title already, I'm gonna be telling you my tips to get headshots in Infinite Warfare as quickly and easily as possible. I actually do have Dark Matter Solar Camo on two different accounts. One of them is Doom the Race account, which is obviously the Doom account, which I was not the only one working towards, but I also do have the Solar Camo on my main account, which is just my account. I did get help by someone, but you know, I still have quite a bit of experience, I guess, going for headshots and just getting Black Sky Solar Camo in general in Infinite Warfare. And back in Black Ops 3, I also, I don't know, I just usually go for these camos, and I think it's quite a bit of fun. Sometimes it's frustrating, but it is also at the end pretty rewarding actually having some camo that not that many people have. So in this video, as I said, I'm gonna be telling you some of my tips for getting headshots in Infinite Warfare. And it usually takes me, because you need to get 160 headshots with the weapons that you need to go for headshots for, which is I think every other weapon besides the shotguns and SMGs, where you actually need to get hipfire kills instead of headshot kills. So it usually takes me around 300 kills to get the 160 headshots needed, which I would say is pretty good ratio. You know, half of my kills are usually headshots, which, you know, I'm not complaining. And the gameplay that you're seeing in the background as well, I think I got within 25 kills or so. I think I got every single kill that I got was a headshot, besides like one or two. So I would say that my headshot ratio is pretty good, and I might even go for a headshot only nuke at some point in the future, or a Juggernaut de-atomizer. Let me know in a comment section down below if you guys would be interested of that. I think that would be, you know, it will be quite of a challenge, I wanna say, because the jetpacking definitely makes getting headshots a bit harder compared to like Black Ops 2, and that is why there's also the option that you might wanna be playing the tactical play mode without any jetpacking and whatnot if you're struggling, I guess, with the normal movement system in this game to get headshots. But for this gameplay, I was using you know, just playing the Genesis 24/7, which I think is a great playlist to have if you're going for headshots. But yeah, let's get into these tips anyways. The basic class setup that I was using on this gameplay was the NV4 Fallout, and the reason why I was using the NV4 Fallout rather than the normal NV4 is not only can I get a nuclear, I suppose, but also it has less recoil. And the first tip that I have is actually the variants, because I know, for example, that on a K-bar there's a variant that you get extra damage to headshots by default, and on top of that, if you put on hollow point or whatever, you can, I don't know, you definitely want to be slapping an eye on these different weapon variants, because the game is a couple months in, there was that crypto key glitch, so you definitely want to make sure that you're using the best variant possible when going for these headshots. But the rest of my attachments were basically the elo sight, grip. Obviously I don't want to have recoil when I'm going for this, I want to be as accurate as humanly possible. Also I was using quick draw, obviously ADS faster, and hollow point, which is pretty much self-explanatory, right? Like, we are going for headshots, we want to have the maximum damage for the headshots that we are going for. And then the last attachment is quite a bit up to you. I was personally using stock. I always use stock on my AR, so I'm super used to it. But I know for some people they don't like stock because it kind of messes up their aim. So for those people, I would actually probably recommend suppressor. And it might sound weird, but basically to get these headshots, my next tip would be that you want to play really close quarter maps, which is the reason why I was playing Genesis. Like, it was obviously working out really well for me. But to finish up my class setup though, I was also using Ghost to obviously not to pop up on the minimap as much. And also one thing that I would recommend using that I was not using on this gameplay would be the jammer grenade, because you can just be throwing those around and making it so that it's way easier for you to actually get the headshots when the enemies are obviously not moving as fast, because there's no normal concussions on this game. Like, there's no normal frags, there's no normal concussions, anything. Like, there's just so much advanced stuff in here in this game, which I kind of hate. But that is basically the class setup that I would recommend for ARs, and also pretty much for any gun category. One thing that I would say for pistols is that I would recommend obviously to use the high caliber, and also the fully auto thing that you can actually shoot it automatically. And maybe for some pistols it might even be worth of testing the akimbos, because I was actually finding some success with akimbos on my pistols as well when I was going for headshots. So, you know, those are, I guess, some pistol tips as well. And the next tip that I would give you guys is actually something that I was not doing on this gameplay myself, and that is to play with a couple friends of yours. Obviously that they can get UAVs, counter UAVs, advanced UAVs. Just make it easier for you to basically flank them, get kills, know where the enemies are at. and it just, I don't know, it just makes it all around more fun. And I know that going for headshots might be a bit tedious at times, so if you're playing with some friends of yours and you're just having a laugh, it can make the process go a bit faster, I would say. The next one is that you want to adjust your crosshair placement slightly higher. If you ever played CS, you know what I mean. And on CS, if you ever have watched any CS matches, pro matches, you know that no one is really running around just staring at the ground. And that's basically what you want to be doing in COD as well if you're going for headshots. You kind of want to have your crosshair placement a bit higher than usually, because most people, including me, have always, when I'm running around, my crosshair is normally kind of facing on the enemy's stomach, you know, like when I ADS, I'm not really automatically snapping on their head, you know, and you want to be doing that exactly. Like when you're ADS and you already have the height ready in your mind, kind of that, oh, like I'm just gonna ADS and it's gonna be on their headshot, you know. And as you guys can see throughout this gameplay as well, I was aiming downside a lot of the times, especially if there was a radar up. I would be just using my stock to my advantage and just like creeping around the corners and basically pre-ADSing them. And you know, I would already have my placement, I guess, for the crosshair and for my elo side already on place, you know, so that the headshots and the gunfights would actually be easier to win. The next one is that you want to be playing core, and the reason for playing core instead of hardcore is that it's so much easier to get closer to these enemies if you're playing core, and that comes back to playing Genesis 24/7 once again. And I know that when you're watching this video, there might not be Genesis 24/7 anymore, so but you just want to be playing the smallest map possible in this game. You kind of want to do anything that you can, everything you can, to get closer and closer to these enemies, because it is way easier to get headshots close range rather than long range. And you see on this gameplay as well, like a lot of the headshots that I did get were pretty close quartered. There was few kills where the enemies were a bit further away and maybe I got a bit lucky, but for the most part I was trying to get in front of their face, and that is on Black Ops 3 as well. Like I don't know, I just have way more success on any card when going for headshots if I'm getting closer to them, and that is why you want to be playing core, not hardcore, since it is way harder to get close to the enemies. And also the next tip is that you want to be getting as many headshots as possible in one sitting as humanly possible, because once you get used to actually going for headshots, you know, the first game, the second game might be a bit tougher. This was actually the third game that I was playing, the first gameplay that you see on the background. And I was already on my third game on. I was already getting used of actually getting headshots. The first and second I was getting, you know, like 10 headshots, 15 headshots a match. But on the third one I was going off. And that is the reason why you want to be getting as many headshots in one sitting as possible, because you just get used to it, you know. And the next one is that you cannot be caring about your stats when going for this. Like if you care about your stats, if you're like, oh shit, I'm going 7 and 10 for example, I'm going neggy, I usually have a 2 KD, you cannot be worrying about your stats, because that is gonna slow down the process so much. So if you're like me and you just want to get the job or done with, you know, like if you just want to get the headshots as fast as possible, don't care about your stats, just do as many headshots in one sitting as possible, and do not change your sensitivity, because I hear some people saying that, yo, if you're usually playing on a 8 sensitivity, you want to go for like 5, you know. You don't want to be doing that. Like if you're used to using one sensitivity for 2 months, you don't want to just change that, you know. Like you're fully used to that 8 sensitivity, even if it was a bit higher. Okay, I understand if you're playing on like a 16, then you might want to lower it a bit, but for the most part you do not want to change your sensitivity, because it's just a new sensitivity, a new thing that you gotta get used to. And I assume that if you're not going for headshots, you would change the sensitivity back and forth, and it's just a whole huge hassle. But that is pretty much my tips for getting headshots as quickly as possible and as easy as possible in Infinite Warfare. Those tips definitely work for me, and hopefully they will work for you. Obviously, you know, the main thing, I'm sure there's gonna be some comments in the comment section down below as well, just saying, oh, just ADS at the head, you know, like, yeah, that's the basic thing what you have to do, but there is some things that you can make to make it easier, at least in my opinion. So that is pretty much it. If you can shoot this video for 200 likes, that would be absolutely amazing. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. I'm gonna be posting every single day, or live streaming every single day on YouTube for the month of January, and hopefully afterwards as well. So I might even make some live streams where I'm going for a ton of headshots and trying to get like 50 headshots a match or something crazy like that. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.